How you doing, YouTube? Today we're back with a brand new video. Today's video I'm going to do a run through of the different materials that we use. So I'm going to put a picture up of each of the bags of material that we use just before I start talking about them. So that's the way we're basically going to do this video. First of all, the most obvious one, it's the one we use the most, is Carlite Ultra Finish. It's the blue bag that you'll see me using quite a bit. The Ultra Finish is it sets in around 3 hours. You can finish it a bit faster, but you're not going to be given it its last hard trial at the end. You can finish it in about 2.5 hours. It's a really nice finishing plaster. It's very forgiving. It doesn't it sort of sits for a long time before it starts to set, so it gives you actually time to play with it. It's good for sort of low suction, low to medium suction. You can't get away with it with medium suction, but any sort of high suction areas you're going to have to PVA before. The next we're going to talk about is the Carlite Finished. They're their standard finishing plaster, which is a red bag. This is also a good plaster. It was something that I used for a very long time until my builder's yard started stocking the Ultra Finish, and then I switched to that. But this red finished Carlite plaster is still pretty forgiving, but not as forgiving as the other one. It sets a lot faster, so it'll set till a certain point and then it'll sit sort of semi set. I find it's good for, like, if you've sort of heavy walls you're wanting to cover, if you're wanting to cover really bad walls, but you don't want to bond them beforehand, this is a good plaster for doing so. It sets in around 4 hours, and it's a good plaster. It is a bit cheaper than the Ultra Finish. The Ultra Finish is currently January 2024. It is the Ultra, the blue bag, is $14.60 a bag in the builder's yard that I bought, and then that stuff you can actually, the red bag, you can't get that in the builder's yard that I use. You can get it in another one, but it's like £16 in that builder's yard, obviously, because it hasn't got any of my discounts or anything applied to it. So the next plaster that we use is bonding, so thistle bonding or the Carlite bonding, the stuff that we use, either or both of them. The Carlite bonding is you're more likely to get that in a builder's yard, where a thistle would be from B&Q, the likes of there. It's a popular bonding in England. But the things that we would use bonding for, either one, we use bonding for setting beads. We use bonding for making walls level. We use bonding for like if a wall was in really bad shape, you would either just go straight bond all the walls, or your other option, if you want to skim it sort of like straight away, we do a thing called magic mix, where you mix your bonding and your skim together. The ratio is about 3:1, so 3 finish to 1 bonding. If you have a bucket that big, you break it down, and you spread that on the wall, and then you can almost go instantly back over it and I think it's like 10 minutes, and it's sad enough to finish over, and then you do your 2 coats of finish over the top of it. It's also a good, it's good, it's strong. The only thing about it is when it dries out, if it sets, the next day you're going to have really high suction. Okay, so the next thing then we use would be hardwall. Hardwall is sort of a backing plaster. It's not something that we actually use a lot, but we do use it sometimes. The next thing would be then just standard sand and cement. Depending on what you're using it for, you can change the ratios around, but your standard ratio would be sort of 4:1, 4 cement, or 4 plaster and sand to 1 cement, and then you have some additives then that you can put into it. If you're repairing a damp course, you can put salt neutralizer in. If you're doing a wall outside, waterproofer, and then you put your you can put SBR in to make it more sticky. You can yeah, basically there's loads of different additives. You can put frostproof in it if you're going to be working on a sort of slightly colder day. Yeah, so then after that, after sand cement, there's like 100 different kinds of outdoor finishes. K-Rend would be one of the more known ones. K-Rend, you put it on, and then you scrape it back off either later in the day or in the morning, the next morning, depending on how cold it is. K-Rend won't be something that we would use a whole lot here. And then one of the other more, another system that I would use more than K-Rend would be Stow. Stow can be done on a variety of backgrounds, but most of the Stow work that I've ever done has been over rock wool insulation. So you put the rock wool insulation over it, you put your base coat, you put mesh, and then you put your finish coat, and you rub it up, and it's like sort of like a stipply effect on the outside of the building. It's really nice. It comes in multiple colours. Yeah, and that would be sort of like all the plasters that I would use. There's obviously a lot more plaster than that. You know, there's the Kniff or Kniff or whatever you call from B&Q. They have a finishing plaster. And then there's like other brands like British Gypsum Multi-Finish, which I don't really use. Yeah, there's loads of different brands, but I'm not really going to go into it because it's not something that I use. And then sort of like when I was speaking about additives, there's some additives that we use sort of on a daily basis. So one of the two of them would be SBR. We use SBR regularly, and then PVA. Both of these things are used for a tearing plaster, new plaster to old plaster. SBR is like a complete sealer. You know, you put SBR on, there's no water comes either way through SBR. So where PVA would be water soluble, so you couldn't use it outside or anything like that there. And then we obviously use our standard or our half sheets of plasterboard. After that, we use skimming beads, floating beads, skimming stop beads. We'll use, if we're dot and dabbing, we use plasterboard adhesive. But yeah, that's basically all the materials we use. If there's a material that I forgot about, please stick it in a comment underneath. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. hit the bell notification if you want to notify when anytime that I go live. You can check out all my social media. The links are in the description: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And then also I have my Amazon affiliate link. There are links that are in the descriptions that are linked to tools that I use on a daily basis that I actually buy from Amazon. If you go to buy one of those tools, I get a small percentage. If you don't actually buy the tool but go on to buy something within, I think it's 24 to 48 hours after you've clicked that link, I also get a commission as well. So it's a good way to support me without actually giving me money. And if you want to support me directly, then there's stuff like Patreon, where you'll get new videos, or just a buy me coffee link, where you can buy me a coffee basically. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.